Hi Annie, I hope your summer travels have been going well. I wanted to record this video for you as a makeup for one of our lessons, but also as something that you can come back to whenever you get a chance to get back to your violin. Because I know that's not easy all the time when we're just going around all for the summer and all. Um, let's start today with a little warm-up. We're going to just do our bow only, so we're going to give our left hand a little rest. And then from there, we're going to move into our 1 octave scale sheet that you have. Should have it for a D major, the way you filled it out. And then there's a little PDF attached to the video here, or to the email, and it's just going to have this on it. These are chord charts for our violin. And we're going to play these today in like a guitar sort of style, or guitar position, with the violin just against our tummies. And then we're going to move into our book for essential elements here, page 10, where we're going to start with that. So let's get right into it. A little bow exercise here. We're going to bring our violin up. Let's make sure we're in tune. We have G. I'll play mine for you. Excellent. So when we're tuning, make sure we go for long, smooth bows. If you have a tuning app, I definitely recommend using it. But if you want to use your ear, you have a very good ear, so go for it. You'll just tune your note up until it matches the same pitch. All right, and then D. Mine's a little out here, 1 sec. There we go. And then A. I'm gonna bring mine down a little. Try this A. There we go. And now E. Excellent. So if you need to rewind any of that just to make sure you're hearing the pitch and that your violin matches mine, that's a great idea. But let's get into this bowing exercise. So we're going to do open G here. Make sure you found the note. Make sure our bow isn't hitting the wood of the violin here. We're over here. And that our bow is going perfectly parallel with the bridge. Right? Awesome. So we're going to stay real close to the fingerboard, where the fingerboard gets close to the bridge. We're going to be right about there. So not all the way up on the fingerboard and not super close to the bridge where it gets really crunchy, right? We just want a nice middle ground right below where the fingerboard ends. All right, so let's start on G, and we're going to do long, short, long, short, long. And when you do the short note, you're going to reset your bow. So we'll go long, short, long. Do you see that? It's almost like the short note kicks back, right? And then you lift your bow up and get back to the frog. So let's try that one more time on D now. So D. Awesome. So I just want you to get used to the feeling of the violin bow moving quickly on the string and off the string to get back to where we need to be at the frog. Let's move on, and now we're going to try a long short pattern on one bow. This might be even easier actually. So we'll just go long, short, long, short, long, short, long, up, down, down, up, down, down, up. Let's try this one more time together. And the pattern is down, stop the bow, and you're going to go about 2/3 of the way of the bow here, and then use the last final third of the bow to do one more down bow, and it's shorter than the other one. So we have long, short, long, short, long, short, long. See that? Let's try it together on D. 2, 3, 4. Nice. And now let's try moving towards our scale. So we're going to set our bow down and we're going to look at our scale sheet for D major and we're just going to pluck our way through it. So violin down here and we're just going to go open D, D2, 4 times. And now E, first finger on the D string, 2, 3, 4. Now F sharp, which is high 2 on the D string, F sharp, 2, 3, 4, and then G, third finger G, 2, 3, 4. Now open A, 2, 3, 4, and B, 2, 3. That's first finger, 4, and now second finger high 2, C sharp, 2, 3, 4, and D, 2, 3, 4. Now back down, C sharp, that high 2 on A string. Now B, B, 2, 3, 4, open A, 2, 3, 4. Now third finger G on the D string, G, 2, 3, 4, and F sharp, 2, 3, 4, and E with our first finger. And then open D. Excellent. So now we're going to bring our bow back up. And we're going to try these in just with long whole notes. And we're going to try and bow through that same scale. You ready? Let's go D major whole notes. So 4 beats per bow. 1. Oh, and if you can't make it the entire length of the bow, it's okay to do 2 bows or 3 bows, however many you need to get in there. We're going to really worry about just making sure that our left hand is in tune. I'm not going to focus on the bow too much right now for this exercise. So 1, 2, D major, D, 2, 3, 4, and E, 2, 3, 4, and F sharp, 2, 3, 4, and G, 2, 3, 4, and A, 2, 3, 4, and B, 2, 3, 4, and C sharp, 3, 4, and D, 2, 3, 4, back down to high 2, 2, 3, 4. Now first finger A, which is B, 3, 4. Now open A, 2, 3, 4. Third finger G, 2, 3, 4, and F sharp, 2, 3, 4, and first finger E, 2, 3, 4, and D, 2, 3, 4. Excellent. And if you felt like that was too challenging, go back and try it again. Rewind the tape and do it so many times until it's comfortable. But if you felt like that was too easy, try and start your scale 2 notes after I've started. So I'll do G, first finger A, and then once I get to that third note, B, come in on open G. And see how that sounds. See if you can try and blend the notes to what I'm playing. And then we'll be a third apart, so 3 notes apart. Now we're gonna move into a little guitar exercise. And we're not actually playing a guitar, we're just gonna play our violin like a guitar with these patterns. Take a moment to look at them. If you'd like, I did send you a PDF, so you're certainly welcome to print it out. I think that'd be very helpful. And let's start with G. So if we're looking at G here, imagine your violin is right next to it, right? Boop. We have open G, right? This first string is open. And then we have an open D. See how there's another open there? Then we have first finger on the first tape. So these dotted lines are going to represent where your tapes are on your violin. So we have first finger on the first tape, and then we have a second finger on the highest string, but it's right in between the first and the second tape. You see that? So it's going to be a low 2. We call this low 2. So we have open G, we have open D, we have first finger first finger B on the A string, and then we have second finger G on the E string. So it's going to end up looking like this. Here we go. First finger, we have open G, D, first finger B. Make sure it's speaking, and then drop your second finger right below it. Or right above it, I guess. Nice. So, and now try all of those together once you feel like every note isn't like stopped or making like a muted sound, right? Or making a rattling. That's not what we want. So once you've made sure that each note is speaking really well by playing them individually, then try and play them all together. Nice. And so you can pluck these with the pad of your thumb, or you can just kind of shake your hand with the pad of your finger and just kind of run it against the strings to make that strumming sound. Don't focus too much on the strumming. We're really just trying to make sure that our left hand's finding those pitches. And so if you play it and that second finger's too high, it'll sound like this. See how that's too high? Or if your first finger's too low, it sounds like that one. It should be right there. So we have G, D, B, G. There it is. Awesome. So now we're going to move on to the next chord here. It is a D. And I put quotations there because it's not exactly a D, because we have an extra note in there because G isn't in the D chord, but that's not a big deal. You don't have to know that now. We're just going to refer to it as D to keep it simple. So we have an open string on G. We have an open string on D. This is an open string on A. Boop. And then we have a 1 on the E string. And where is that 1? It's on that first tape. So we're going to try that out, and I'll show you what it looks like on the violin. So we just did G. Now, our first finger, we're gonna let go and put our first finger right behind our second finger on the same string, on the E string on your first tape, and that's an F sharp that you'll play. All the other strings are gonna be open, so we have G, D, A, F sharp. Awesome. So playing those all together on one strum, it goes. Let's start from G now. So we have 1 on our A string, 2 on our E string, and that's G, the chord we were just doing earlier. Now we're going to go down to D, so put your 1 behind your second finger on the same string, and then let go of your second finger. We have 1 on E, or on F sharp on the E string, and then all the other strings are open. And now, so alternating between, we have G, to D. And now we're going to move to A, the next chord we have in this progression. If you look at A, you'll notice we have 3 open strings just like before, except the first finger is going to be on the opposite side as before. So the first finger is going to be on our lowest string here. This is our G, and it's going to be first finger on A because it's on the first tape of G. See that? Then the rest of the strings above it are going to be open. So we have A on the G, and then we also have D, A, and E. So let's try that together. This is our A chord. So if we were moving from D, where we had first finger on the highest string, then we're going to lift our first finger up, keep a nice C curve to your thumb there, and bring your first finger to that same tape, but on the lowest string now. And play that note, it's A. Nice. So then play it now. Once it's speaking well, play it with the rest of the open strings. Awesome. And so now we're going to try and put all of those together, starting from G. Second finger on the E string, first finger on the A string. Ready? 2, 3, 4. G. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then to D, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. And now to A, we have first finger jumping over. and then back to G. Nice. So let's try this one more time. 2, 3, 4. G to D to A. Hopping over. Back to G to D and then to A. Back to G. There it is. Awesome. So now that we've done that, we did a little chord exercise. Now we're gonna move into our books. So open your book to page 10 and 11 for me. This is our Essential Elements for Violin, Book 1. And now we're gonna start reading a little bit of sheet music here. But don't worry, it's very simple stuff. We're just gonna use 1, 2, and 3 on our violins. First finger, second finger, third finger. So this one's gonna start with third finger on our A string, and that's D. If you don't know where that is, this is number 23. It's called Let's Read D. That note, D, is going to be at the top of our D major scale that we played at the beginning of this lesson. So if you go from your D major scale, D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C sharp, D, match it to your open D, make sure they're in tune with each other in the same note, and that's it. So 23 is rather simple because it just wants you to understand where D is. And then understand that the quarter notes and the quarter rests have a bit of a pattern there. So 1, 2, 23. We have D, 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 rest. D, 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 rest. And D, 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 D. Right, rather simple. Let's move on to the next number here, number 24, and we're doing we're doing C sharp. This is a half step below D, and so that means that your third finger on D is going to have your second finger right behind it to play C sharp. C sharp. So you just lift your third finger up. So if all fingers are down, we have D, 3, 4, and then C sharp. And that's that note. It's just going to be crammed in right behind that third finger. So let's try number 24 together. 1, 2, 3, 4. C sharp, 2, 3, rest. 1, 2, 3, rest. And 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, rest. Very good. Rather simple stuff. Now we're going to mix it up a little bit. So number 25 is called Takeoff. We're going to do this one in pizzicato as well here. But look, now we alternate between D and C sharp. So same two notes we were just playing, but we're just changing up the order, right? So first measure is D, 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 and then we have a rest. Then we move to C sharp. That's our second finger behind the third finger there. Yep. And then we have a rest, and then we go third finger D, and then we go down to C sharp, and then we go D, C sharp, D. Let's try it. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, rest. And C sharp, 2, 3, rest. Now D, D, C sharp, D, C sharp, D, rest. Nice. Now let's do 26 from here. Same two notes, except what extra note are we adding here? Open D. Look at measure 2. It's the third note of measure 2. Open D. So just as we were comparing that high D that we were playing earlier to our open D, if you play it like this, see how they're different notes? My third finger's too low, so I'm going to adjust it up. And when I say up, I mean towards the bridge. All right, so let's try number 26 together. 1, 2, 3, 4. D, D, C sharp, C sharp. 1, 2, open D, rest, and C sharp, D, D, D. And repeat. D, D, C sharp, D, D, D. and high D, C sharp, and D, open D, and then high D. Excellent. Good job. So let's now try adding our bow to number 25 here. Can we do that? So moving back 1 to number 25, we'll add our bows here. So I want you to be towards the tip of your bow. This top half is going to be a lot easier to play in because it's going to sound less crunchy than using near the frog here. So it should be a lot smoother and easier to play just at the top half here for now. So high D here for number 25. 1. Here's the note. Awesome. Once you found it, let's start. So 2, 3, 4, 25. Rest and C sharp. Rest and rest. Nice. Now we're going to do 26 together. 1, 2, 3, 4, and rest and repeat. Open D, rest and excellent. So now we're going to move on back to guitar position here, and we're going to look at number 27. Right, so we're just going to compare those two notes, D and D, high D, open D. Ready, 1, 2, 27. D, D, open D, D, and then high D, 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 C sharp, rest. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, rest, repeat. D, D, open D, and 1, 2, 3, 4, D, D, and then high D, D, C sharp, D, rest. Nice. Let's move on to 28, and now we're adding another note into the mix. So this one's going to be easy. We're not going to really focus on the bow too much or like how we're playing it, but let's just focus on where our left hand is. So let's listen to the pitch here. This is the note, B. This is number 28. We're going to take our first finger and put it on A, our A string, on the first tape, and we have B. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 28. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Very good. So now let's try 29. Ready? So first find that high D. We're going to do that by playing open D first. Listen to the sound. Make sure you have it in your head. And then find, watch, I'm going to play it purposely flat here. That's not it. Do you hear how I was just slowly sliding my hand upwards with my finger towards the bridge until the note matched? That's what we want to do. So 29. 1, 2, 3, 4, and D, rest. D, rest. Now C sharp, 2, 3, rest. First finger B, rest. B, rest. Now open A, A, A. Excellent. Let's try that together with our bows now. So we're picking up our instrument. We're going to make sure our wrist is not touching the violin, right? So like that. Nice and statuesque wrists. Our fingers should be nice and loose and relaxed. We have a C curve going on with our thumb here. Nice and C-shaped. So that we're very relaxed. If you end up doing a shape like that, it's going to prevent your fingers from being able to play the strings. If you have like a duck bill sort of thumb going on, that's not what we want. It prevents circulation from getting to all your fingers and your muscles won't work properly. So let's try 29 with the bow. Ready? So first find that note. We have open D, and now third finger D. Take your time, find that note, match pitch with me. Excellent. Now we're going to start at 29. 1, 2, 3, 4. Rest, D, rest, and C sharp, C sharp. Rest, and now B, rest, B, rest, and A. Let's repeat this one. 29, 3, 4, and rest, D, rest. Now C sharp, 2, 3, rest. Now first finger B, rest, B, rest, and open A. Nice. So if you notice something, there's a pattern that's happening there. We're gonna go. Obviously, our bow is doing different things throughout this line, but if you look at just the notes themselves, we have D, down to C sharp, down to B, down to A, and what does that remind you of? If you are thinking the D major scale descending, you'd be absolutely right. That high D, D, C sharp, B, A, G, F sharp, E, D. It's the first half of our descending D major scale. We're going down, right? So now let's do number 30. And this one, if you feel it's easier to just do pizzicato first, go for it. But I'm going to do this one with our bow, with my bow. But there's no shame in starting this pizzicato. I just want you to be able to hear it very clearly. So, number 30. 1, 2, open A. Rest and A, rest. Now B. Rest. Now C sharp, rest. C sharp, rest. Nice, let's try that again. Number 30. 1, 2, steady goes. A, rest. A, rest. And B. Rest. Now second finger, C sharp, rest. C sharp, rest. And nice. And if you were listening, or if you were listening carefully, you may have heard my D play flat. But if you were listening, I actually adjusted that note. And that's what we want to do. There's nothing wrong with playing a note out of tune. That's exactly what we're doing every day, right, on the violin. We play it out of tune, and we just slide and find the note. It's very fluid with the pitch. So if you play it and it sounds like that, bring it up, right? So now let's try number 31. And then we're going to actually move on to the next page after this here. So 31, down the D scale. This should be pretty familiar. Just a little bit of a bowing pattern to it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Rest. Rest. Now B, 2, 3, rest and A. Rest and G. Rest. Now F sharp. Rest and E. Rest and D. Excellent. Now I definitely want you to work on 32 there, but we already did a little bit of D major scale working here already. Can we move on to let's do 33. So this is on page 12. And what do you notice about the first line of 33? Or at least the first two measures? What's the pattern of the notes there? D, D, C sharp, B, B, A. That's our descending D major scale again, right? Okay, so let's try it out. 1, 2, 3, 4. Rest. And now G, D, rest. Now D, F sharp, A, First finger B. And nice. And G. And D. Nice. So if this song was a little tough for you, let's talk about some of the trickier parts here. Obviously, measure 1 and 2 are just like the last song we did, so we're good there, I'm sure. But look at measure 3. Do you notice a leap anywhere? We're not doing steps no more. We're doing leaps. So we have, in pizzicato, from measure 3, that G, G, oh, let me find it. There we go. So G, 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 down to F sharp, second finger, right? And then we skip down to open D, and then first finger comes in. Right, so that's that tricky spot there. G, G, F sharp, D, E, E, E. Now let's look at the next measure. We have open D, very simple, very easy, right? Now we go to a high 2 on the D string to F sharp, D, F sharp, and then open A. And that F sharp is a tricky one to tune because it's right in between those notes, right? And you may not be used to just jumping straight to an F sharp from an open string. So you got to make sure you have just a little bit of force behind your second finger so that you can play it. Try just hammering onto the string, just going second finger on the F sharp. And you should hear the note faintly when you're pressing against it on that spot. There it is. So now let's try open D, F sharp, A, and just repeat that, just plucking it. D, F sharp, A, D, F sharp, A. And now let's try the second line of number 33, Song for Christine. I'm going to play it on my bow here so you can hear the F sharp very clearly. But if you want to just pizzicato this, that's totally fine. So, D, let me find that F sharp. Perfect. All right, 1, 2, second line of Song for Christine. Rest and G. Excellent. Great job. So, I'm going to assign you also Natalie's Rose here, number 34, if you feel like you're really just having an easy time here with what's going on. But if not, don't worry about it. We'll just consider it like an extra credit sort of deal. Not that you're even being graded anyway. We're just doing this for fun, right? So have fun with it. I hope you learned something today, and I hope you enjoy using the video lessons throughout the summer. Thanks again.